Okay then, so for this tutorial, we are going to look at how you can create a really easy and simple podcast website for your show. Now, I am going to show you how to do this in podcastpage.io. I will give you all the links below this video. Now, the basic plan for Podcast.io starts at $12 per month, which is not an awful lot when you think about what you could pay for a website, let alone a podcasting website. And the great thing is that you are really paying for convenience here because they are doing pretty much everything for you. Yes, you're going to set up a few bits and pieces, but on the whole, Podcastpage is going to do all the hard work for you. So what we're going to do first is we are going to start off, because you might as well start off with the 14-day free trial. So let's set this up together. So I'm going to sign in using my Google. I'm going to continue with that. And then the first thing I'm going to do is type in what my podcast is called. So the Lazy Girl's Guide to Podcasting. Oh, it's too long. Let's see if we can make that a little bit shorter. That is the problem with the Lazy Girl's Guide to Podcasting. It is a long name. So let's just call it Lazy Girls Pod for the sake of this. Lazy Girls Pod. In fact, let's just call it even something shorter. Lazy Girl Pod. So you might need to just consider how long your title is. If, like me, you've got a very long name. But this is just what your site is going to be called. It's not going to actually come up with this. So let's hit continue. And find your podcast. So you can either paste your RSS feed in, or you can import the podcast. So let's go to import your podcast. Oh, no, I am going to have to click on this. So I need to go over to my Captivate site, clicking there, copy RSS feed. It will be different depending on who your podcast host is, but that's how I do it for Captivate. I'm just going to paste it in there, and then, clicking on the wrong thing. So there we go. Import podcast. Choose your favorite design. So let's see what we've got. So that's something quite nice and modern. Oh, I like that one. That's very techy. It's a little bit more traditional, I would say. Basic. Oh, I like that one. Oh, that's nice. And yeah, okay. So you can see there are a whole load of themes, and we'd be able to change this later as well. But I think I quite like this one, I think. Or actually, I think that actually fits my brand a bit more. So I'm going to select that. Otherwise, I'm going to be here forever just choosing one. But like I said, we can change this later. Your website's now ready. How blinking easy was that? So we can see already it has pulled the full title of my podcast here. So this is why I said it doesn't really matter too much what you write in for your podcast title, because it will pull, because that's just like the title of the web page. This will actually pull your actual, your actual podcast title in. So I like it that that's pulled that in already. And it's got our shows here. So if we had multiple shows, and look, it's got my episodes here all in chronological order. We can load more going down. Look at this. Just everything is there, which I think is, oh gosh, this is amazing. Can I add in a blog post if you want to? We got some reviews. They pulled out a review from Apple Podcasts. If there were more reviews, those would come up there. That is great for social proof. Remember that reviews don't actually increase your chances of being found in an algorithm. It's not like likes and views in Instagram or LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever. But the reviews do act as good social proof for people who might be considering why they want to watch or listen to your podcast even. And then they've got subscribe and follow. I love that. Look at all of these different platforms that you can have people listen to you on. And then again, in your footer, it's all laid out. I mean, essentially you could just, go, and this is just one page. I love that. Look, there's another page. It's already created a lot of the basics here. Reviews, Right, this is brilliant. So let's see how we go about customizing. So first of all, let's go through general settings. I can change my logo. So I can't remember if I've actually got the Lazy Girls logo in my downloads folder, which sounds awful. But no, I don't have it at the moment. Let's just put this random image in just for argument's sake. See, this is where you can change themes as well if you want to. We can change our background color, change different fonts, loads to choose from, secondary font. You can change the size, the buttons and things, so you can see how that changes. I like that. I like big buttons. Change the colors. So this is when I can change to, put things on brand a little bit more. So that's my hex color. And we can change these as well, just for argument's sake, just putting in some, that's actually quite a nice color. And then we can decide, are we going to show or hide the bit at the bottom which says powered by Podcast.io. We can choose, where we want these different, the different layouts to have. This is quite cool. I quite like this. The voice message button. People can send you voice messages to say how much they like your show. That's quite cool. You can change the messaging for that to send us a voice message, or send me a voice message if you wanted to, and see it changes it all in real time, which I think is amazing. There's also some other features. You can have a scroll to the top button enabled. Yeah, there's loads that we can do here. So let's go back. Those are my general settings, header and footer. So if you don't want all of these, we can actually get rid of them. If we don't want all of these, so if you don't want everything to be sitting on different pages, you can literally just have your home and your subscribe, and that makes it really nice and easy for people to navigate around your website. We go to top header. You can decide if you want to show this bit right at the top, and then what you want it to say as well. So this is this is a podcast about podcasting. New episodes weekly. And you can see how easy this is to change. We can change the color as well in the same way. Let's go back. Let's look at the footer. So this is all the way down here. Again, we can edit how we want that to look. We can bring loads of different elements into play, and it's just drag and drop, but you could just keep it nice and simple like this as well. Let's go back to copyright as well. You might want to edit that if you want to say that it's copyrighted to your show. Let's see what else we have got. Podcast header. So you can see these are all changed as well with the colors as I change them. So you can change the layout here. So let's see about uploading. Like I said, we're just going to put in a random image so we can see where that appears. Where does that one come up? I have to have a look. That may have been on a different, header, it's up there still. So yeah, there's loads. You can go in and you can play around with it, but everything is completely up to you as to how you want it to look. You can even go complex and get pop-ups and announcements. You do need to upgrade, but you can get that level if you want to as well. You can display sidebars and show for episodes, but I would say, look, you can even include a blog. That there's so much, but I would say on the whole, you don't need to do most of this. If you just want a basic web page for your podcast, you can go to podcastpage.io, set this up really simply as I've shown you. We can go to, let's make sure we save everything. Let's go back to our homepage. There we go. Let's go back to our homepage, and let's just see about getting rid of things that we don't want. So if I don't want this, I'm just going to bin it. There we go. That's gone. We've got our latest episodes. I don't have a blog, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. So I'm just clicking on the box and pressing go, and that's disappearing. I'm going to leave my reviews because even though there's only one at the moment, that will hopefully fill up over time depending on what my call to actions look like. I want the subscribe and follow there. I quite like that. But overall, I am absolutely loving this, and we can change the image as well. We can put in the link to our image, which I think is really nice, and it's just really nice and easy to use. I think this is here we go. You can even do all of your SEO sections here as well. So this is when somebody searches your page on Google, then what do I want it to say? So I want it to say something like The Lazy Girl's Guide to Podcasting is a podcast about podcasting. There you go, just simple and easy. And the sharing image is what appears, like, for example, when you share the web page on social media, how you get a little picture. But as I said, the image, we can change that as well. So there is just so much that we can do here. Or we can just get rid of that completely if we wanted to. Let's see if we can drag a widget in. Let's have a little look. Say if we wanted to drag that an image back in. I'm being completely blind. There we go. Oh, look, and there we go. And then we can just drag an image across. So downloads, again, just for the sake of this, that's just a random picture that will look nice. Let's click that and then click select, and there we go. Or you could have your own image of your podcast artwork, whatever you want. But again, you can really play around with this, really go to town with this, and I think just make an absolutely awesome website, which is only a page long, because at the end of the day, you don't really need much more than your header, your latest episodes, some reviews, subscribe and follow on your page. And then the great thing about this, once we've hit update, it gives you your page URL at the top here. So let's just hit here so we can, the little arrow, and this is it. So my webpage, this is what I typed in before, Lazy Girl Pod, when it told me it was too long. So lazygirlpod.podcastpage.io. This is what I can now link everybody to whenever I have a new episode. So let's say this is my latest episode, and whenever I am advertising on social media, I now just copy this link into any of my social posts and I say, go and listen to the new episode here, and people will land on this page. They can listen to the episode on this page, or we can hit subscribe now, and then it will take them through to whichever of their favorite platforms they want to choose to listen on, which I just think is awesome. It makes it super easy for people to find your podcast and listen to your podcast. You're not, say, for example, you don't want to, in your social media post, just be putting a link to Apple Podcasts because somebody might listen on Spotify, or, just putting in the link to Spotify and then somebody listens on Good Pods. You get the point. You want to be able to have people come to one page where they can then decide where they want to listen to. So again, that is podcastpage.io. If you go to veritysongone.com/podcast page, then you will get that 14-day free trial, and that link is below. If you've got any questions about this, make sure that you drop them in the comment section below this video, and I will get back to you as soon as possible.